Prosper log. Show date 150101. Happy New Year to everybody out there. Starting this one out with the classic Old Lang Syne. It's a instrumental version. There we go. Turn it up all the way. This week's special New Year's edition is brought to you by the page Live Long and Prosper, commanded by Captain Christine Hope, inspiring all around the world for peace and long life. Keep in mind your mind matter, and as always, live long and prosper. Captain, live long and prosper to you and your awesome page. All right, since we're ringing in the new year, since you're ringing in the new year, you gotta have a nice, somewhat fancy beer to do it. This week's beverage of choice: Gouden Carolus Hopsinjoor. Yeah, sounds right. 8%. Let's open up this bad boy. Proper opening apparatus, proper technique. Maybe. I'm not getting sick. There we go. There we go. Pour it right into the proper consumption apparatus. It's a Chimay glass, but at the same time, proper for Belgian beer. Alright. Cheers to you all. Kapla! They would say in the Klingon Empire. Nice and yummy. I'll take it. Alright. Gotta start this out the right way. Gotta start it out with birthdays. From the 29th. Got two of them. Got two of them on each day I'm going to cover here. On the 29th, the lovely Kellie Fitch. Now, I worked with her in jolly old England. She is now living in New Mexico. Kellie, happy birthday to you, sweetheart. I love the fact that you're a stay-at-home mom with your two lovely kids, Maddie and Talon. Haven't met Talon. I love the crap out of Maddie. Matt, I hope you took care of her on her birthday, and I hope you're taking care of her all the time. Cheers to you and your family. And a happy New Year and a happy birthday. And next up on the list, from the 29th, Bobby Corino. Now, this is a guy that I work with here at Earth Station, Okinawa. A die-hard Dolphins fan. Man, what happened? I was counting on the Dolphins doing me some good when they played the Patriots the second time around. But, you know what they say. I guess it just wasn't in the cards. Anyway, Bobby, happy birthday, brother. I hope you're doing well. I hope things are going good for you at work. Man, let's drink. Alrighty. Next on the list. Actually, let me play another song. Before I get into the next birthday, I want to throw out this week in Trek history. January 3rd, 1993. Star Trek Deep Space Nine premiered on syndication. Deep Space Nine even got a consumption apparatus for it. Which, thank you, Mom. Appreciate it. Got a whole lot of other stuff I want to show off too, but let me get to the birthdays first. Alright. Back to the birthdays. I'm probably going to pay for that later. Last year, the lovely Kara McLaren. Now, when I met her, it was Kara Hedges. Kara, I'm sorry your husband couldn't be with you on your birthday. I'm sorry he couldn't be with you to help bring in the new year, or the new Stardate as we call it around here. But Kara, the prosperous salute to you and your wonderful husband, Eric, and I drink to you. Alright, next on the list. From yesterday, also, the lovely Jolene Vickers. Now, I knew her as Jolene Miller. Jolene, happy birthday. How's life treating you? I hope things are going well for you. I saw recently where you became an adopted aunt, kind of. Congratulations to you. Happy birthday to you. And I drink to you on your birthday. All right. Next on the list, 2 more birthdays to get through. I'll save this one for last. Tim Ooms. Now, Tim's a guy I met here. We both volunteer through the Okinawan American Animal Rescue Society. Whoops. We both volunteer through the Okinawan American Animal Rescue Society. He's got a wonderful pup, Jelly Bean, that he's fostering through them. Excuse me. We tried to keep her, but we just recently started fostering a cat. That went over like a fart in church. But Tim, happy birthday to you. I hope your wife treated you well today. And I drink to you. And last but not least, the last birthday to today. I think this is the first dog birthday, or first pet birthday, period, that I've ever done on Prosper. My own dog, Lucky. My Jack Russell Terrier. I know you've seen him around before. You've seen him on the show a couple times. Lucky, happy birthday to you. The house commander's been sick, so we haven't had a chance to get out and get you anything today. Your birthday's actually at a bad time. But Lucky, I drink to you. Like I said, weird giving a dog a shout out for a birthday on the show. But hey, you gotta do it sometimes. Alright, birthdays. Done. Let's move on to the additional greetings. The first additional greeting I have to give out. The Prosper Facebook page recently hit 250 likes. The Prosper Facebook page, www.facebook.com/LLAProsper. If you haven't checked it out and liked it already, you're wrong. Please do it. Hit it up. Get those likes in. The first additional greeting is the 250th like. Excuse me. The one and only, the man, the myth, the legend, whatever you want to call him, Dan Butler. Dan Butler. I haven't met him yet in person, but our mutual friend Josh Baker has met you. Dan, he's about as big a nerd as I am. He's a Cowboys fan. Hey, nobody's perfect. But hey, the Cowboys made it to the playoffs this year. I'm happy for him. I really am. Dan, to you, the Prosper salute, and I drink to you, my friend. Thank you for being like number 250. All right, next up on the list, Pistol Marie. Now, who's that, you're probably asking? Well, Pistol hosts a YouTube show called Pistol's Place. And what she does is she's a professional bartender. Maybe I need to get her in 10 forward. But she's a professional bartender. Her show, Pistol's Place, she shares her recipes with you. And basically, if you want to know how to make a drink, shoot her a message. She will hook you up. She'll teach you how to do it. She needs more likes. I lost count of where she's at, but hit her up. I'll include a link when I share this. But Pistol, Happy New Year to you, sweetheart. Looking forward to watching your new episode. All right, next up on the list. Now, these four, like I mentioned earlier, my house commander's been sick. These 4 people were nice enough to bring us food while she's been recovering, while I've been taking care of her. The first couple, Carlos and Sullymar Lugo Lopez. They live above me here at Earth Station Okinawa. They're awesome people. They brought me curry last night. God love you guys. Thank you very much. The Prosperous salute to you. Excuse me. It was awesome hanging out with you guys last night, ringing in the new year up till about 10 till. And it was good. It was good to be able to finally meet little Liam. Thanks again for the Cocos. And I drink to you. And the other couple that I mentioned, my neighbors that live across the way down here at our station, Okinawa, Brooks Dorsey and Amber Palmer. Now, very good friends of ours, probably our best friends here. They brought us over some awesome, the best soup I've ever had. Brought it over, hooked us up. Man, it was awesome. I love you guys for it. The Prosperous salute to you too, and let us drink. And like I told you, let me know when you're ready to work that fence. I'll help you out. Next up on the list. Now, this gal, I just discovered she's a Star Trek fan. And if I'd have known this back when we were in jolly old England together, I don't know. Michelle Clemish, how you doing, sunshine? Happy New Year. Happy New Year. It was good learning you were a Star Trek fan. I still got to sit down and talk to you, figure out which series you like the most. But, Michelle, the prosperous salute to you, of course. I drink to you. Keep it classy. And pull your head out of your butt and discover a new football team. All right. Now, this other gal, same situation. I worked with her husband at jolly old England. I worked with Brian, Chauncey McTaintstain as he was known, but Katie Hardwick. Katie, how you doing, sunshine? How's everything treating you? How's life going? Saw you're in New Mexico also, living the dream, loving life. Katie, I so wished I'd have known you were a Star Trek nut back in the day too. Katie, to you, the prosperous salute. Do you partake? Let me know if you do. I drink with you. All right, next on the list. I gave his wife some love last week because I just met her. She was the one that I'd shared the picture in blue on the page, the blue uniform on the page. This is her husband, Ken Daniels. Ken, how you doing, bud? Thanks for the ad on an old fart book this past week. I hope you were ringing in the new year smart and safe. I look forward to meeting you someday. The prosperous salute to you, and let us partake. And last but not least, another gal that I just started talking to not too long ago. She's another Star Trek nut. Saw her in an operations uniform. Jennifer Burton. Jennifer, I'm looking forward to meeting you sometime. I'll bet you and I could probably swap some pretty interesting stories. But to you, I drink to you, and the prosperous salute. Uh-oh. As devoid as life as the brain cells of a Sequest fan. Time to reload. All right. Kapla! All righty. All the greetings. Done. Let's talk football for a second. Wild card weekend in the NFL. Here's who I've got pegged. Cardinals, Panthers. Cardinals. The Panthers honestly got lucky. They had the best record. And I guess how can you go to the playoffs with a losing record? Well, you can do it if all the other teams in your division have a losing record too. I'm sure I think they just had a crappy draw. I mean, it is what it is. Oh, excuse me. Whew. Sorry. All right, Cardinals, Panthers. I got the Cardinals pegged for that. Ravens, Steelers. Now, this one is crucial. This one is going to determine where the winners between the Bengals and the Colts will play. I've got the Steelers pegged to win it, and here's why. Steelers win, Colts win, Colts play in Denver. Ravens win, Colts play in New England. We go to Denver, we have a chance. So I got the Steelers pegged to win it. I got the Steelers pegged to win that one. Bengals, Colts. Duh. You should know by now who I've got pegged to win that one. Going with the Colts. No questions asked. Lions, Cowboys. This one was kind of tough when I was coming up with it. Between the Lions and Cowboys, both decent teams. I would like to see the Cowboys go. I really would. I got the Cowboys pegged. Alrighty. Now, football, done. Let's drink. Alrighty then. Let us go into the data bank, shall we? This week's entry, tomorrow is yesterday. Who all likes time travel? Who likes time travel? I personally love a good time travel story. The Enterprise is hurled back in time to the year 1969, where the United States Air Force sights it as a UFO. The crew must find a way to erase evidence of their visit before trying to get back to their home. Excuse me. All right, let us go behind the scenes. This episode was originally going to be the second part of a two-part story that would have begun in The Naked Time. In an earlier draft of the script, when Kirk ordered a hyperbolic course, he wanted the direction to be, doesn't matter, the way we came, toward Earth. Yeah, imagine that. Imagine Shatner saying that. This is why the story ends with a temporal displacement, and this is why that story ended with a temporal displacement, and why this story begins with one.
I will take beauty into my own hands.
Good for you.
It belongs. Olay Regenerist instantly
Come on here.
changes the look of skin. It regenerates surface cells.
Come on here. Shut up.
New skin is revealed.
There we go. Sorry about the technical difficulties, folks. This episode originated from a one-page story synopsis associate producer Bob Justman submitted to Gene Roddenberry on April 12, 1966 for possible consideration. Although almost beat for beat, Justman's proposed story is the same as this episode. Roddenberry never acknowledged Justman as the source or paid any royalties to him for the idea. What a prick. This is the first episode where we see the Enterprise during its 5-year mission visiting Earth, albeit at a different time. The music played as Christopher observes the ears on Spock, heard in its entirety in The City on the Edge of Forever, was written by composer
are created equal. Oral B to
Joseph Mullendore during his scoring for The Conscience of the King. But it went unused at the time. It is an up-tempo version of the closing theme for the show. Mullendore had also arranged the lounge version of the theme for the same episode, also heard in Court Martial. Good musician, good writer. Spock's explanation to Kirk about what could happen if an unscrupulous man had knowledge of the future, which is what would have happened if Christopher had been immediately returned, later, coincidentally, became the story premise for Voyager's Future's End, and to a lesser degree, the Next Generation episode, A Matter of Time. Matt Jeffries designed the trophy with the soaring jet aircraft seen in the case on the airbase. The radio news broadcast says that the manned moonshot from Cape Kennedy with 3 astronauts is scheduled for Wednesday. Here's where it gets interesting. The real Apollo 11 carrying 3 astronauts was launched from Cape Kennedy on July 16, 1969, a Wednesday. At the time this episode aired, some conservative estimates by NASA held that it would be well after 1970 before man landed on the moon. Although the episode contains no explicit calendar year, the Star Trek chronology lists this episode as having taken place in 1969. It all fits. Gotta go with it. On the day this episode was aired, Gus Grissom, Ed White, and Roger Chaffee tragically lost their lives in the Apollo 1 capsule. I probably butchered Chaffee's last name. If I did, I apologize. The events of this episode, which take place in 1969, occurred from the point of view from the Enterprise crew over a year before those of Assignment Earth, which takes place in 1968. Imagine that. Excuse me. Footage of Earth going closer and further inside the atmosphere on the Enterprise view screen is reused from Miri. Later in 1967, physicist John Archibald Wheeler would coin the term black hole to refer to the phenomenon Kirk describes as a black star. Black star, black hole. We get the idea. Where am I at? Okay. The crew, in orbit around Earth, attempts to contact Starfleet Control rather than Starfleet Command. Still trying to iron out the name. Hey, it happens. Kirk's assertion that there are only 12 starships like the Enterprise in the fleet is contradicted by The Making of Star Trek by Gene Roddenberry and Stephen E. Whitfield, which lists the names of 14 starships. 14 Constitution-class starships. Interesting. I kind of wish we saw them all. No, you know what I mean. The small scanning device that Kirk uses to unlock the Omaha base computer room door appears to be the same one used by Scotty and Joe Tormolin in The Naked Time and by Richard Daystrom in The Ultimate Computer. See, gotta reuse it. They were smart on that one. Excuse me. Kirk tells Captain Christopher that the Enterprise operates under the authority of the United Earth Space Probe Agency, which Kirk describes as a combined service, when Christopher presumes that the Enterprise is operated by the Navy. Along with Kirk's log entry, reference to USPA, UESPA, in Charlie X, this is the only time in the original series that this authority is mentioned. In the Star Trek Concordance, author Beau Trimble suggests that it is a fictional name, designed to keep Captain Christopher in the dark about the true nature of the Federation. The name would be established canonically, as being the agency under whose authority the Earth Starfleet operated under in Star Trek Enterprise. The turbolifts rarely use inner double doors, like those on modern elevators, can be glimpsed as Kirk and Christopher go to the bridge. I think that was actually the last time they were used, chronologically, as far as everything aired. Following Christopher's arrival on board the Enterprise, he is provided with a Starfleet uniform to wear. The uniform shirt is the green gold Command Division color. Excuse me. Consistent with his position as a pilot, rate is shown on his flight suit as a senior pilot, and the rank braid on his sleeve is that of a lieutenant, equivalent to his United States Air Force captain's rank, although he is credited as Major Christopher. Really? Come on. Actor Roger Perry liked his Starfleet uniform so much, he asked DeForest Kelly if he could take the shirt home. Kelly replied, "Well, they frown upon that, but you could possibly just stick it in your bag and nobody's going to say anything." Perry decided not to do that, but after seeing the eventual success and legacy of Star Trek, he regretted he didn't take the shirt home. Now, that, on a personal note, I can't say I would have been that honest. Somebody would ask me, "Hey, where's your shirt?" I'd be like, "I don't know," and took it home. I got to be honest, I would try to sneak my uniform home. I really would. This episode establishes the presence of a quartermaster on board the Enterprise. Kirk said to Spock, referring to Captain Christopher, "Why don't you have the quartermaster issue him something more suitable?" This episode is the first of 2 episodes that have a food synthesizer in the transporter room. I better top up. I better catch up. I'm about ready to run out. According to DC Fontana, budgetary restrictions precluded taking the security police sergeant to a dining facility or having another actor in the scene bring him food. So Kyle was employed to provide the sergeant's chicken soup from the dispenser. Several episodes later in This Side of Paradise, Spock smashes his fist through one of the transporter room's food synthesizers. This episode is unique in that it is the only episode to end on a close-up of George Takei, who does not even have the final line in the episode. Weird. This is the last episode in which Spock's rank is stated as Lieutenant Commander. I'll get into that one later on. Empties devoid of life as the brain cells with Sequest fan. Last top up. Kapla! Alright. Ooh, excuse me. Lord, I apologize. This episode or more accurately, its stardate of 3113, was used as the basis for the origin of material that was published as the Starfleet Technical Manual. The first pages of this manual explain how this occurred. The second issue of John Byrne's Assignment Earth series, Yesterday, Today, and Tomorrow, tells the story of Gary Seven's role in the events of this episode. I actually read that series. That was a good series. I highly recommend it to anybody. Michelle Barrett uses a very sultry voice for the ship's computer in this episode, similar to how she would later voice Mres, Res, in Star Trek, the animated series. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the last of the behind the scenes. Whew. Let me slam this dude real quick. As devoid of life as the brain cells of a Sequest fan. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for devoting your time and attention to this. I wish you all a very happy and prosperous Stardate or Showdate 15XXXX, or as it's known on the Old Earth calendar, 2015. That being said, it is time for me to make my traditional departure. So everybody, take care. Have an awesome night or day. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And if you do, name it after me. Don't drink and drive because, well, you might spill your drink. More importantly, you might kill yourself or somebody else. And drinking and driving is about as illogical as being a Sequest fan. And what's worse than that is rooting for scumbag crybabies like Tom. Giselle won't let me go to the Pro Bowl, and I can't win a Super Bowl without a video camera, and Bill stopped talking to me, and he won't smile anymore. Brady, men slapping women, racism, animal abuse, fake friends, people who welch on bets, or anyone who is a member of, supports, or defends the Westboro Baptist Church. Things like that are highly illogical, and I will not devote the time to them. Ladies and gentlemen, as I said a minute ago, I wish you a prosperous 2015. And, as always, live long and prosper.